KXBS on 92.1 coming soon. KXBS.
This broadcast will start in 60 seconds. This broadcast will start in 45 seconds. This broadcast will start in 30 seconds. This broadcast will start in 15 seconds. This broadcast will start in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The Voice of Stockton. For more information on The Voice of Stockton, go to thevoiceofstockton.org.
The views and opinions expressed in the following program do not necessarily reflect those of KXVS The Voice of Stockton or its parents, affiliates, management, and staff.
Hello, welcome to The Voice of Stockton, KXVS 92.1. I would like to thank you for joining and watching. We have a good guest, always welcome to come. It's Governor Don, the station radio. He's gonna clarify some issues that I kind of missed, and I don't want to mislead anyone because I really like to deal with an issue with fake news. You know, this morning when I woke up, I saw some posts on the website, and I saw something about the straw will be banned, and it'll cost $4,000 fine plus jail time. And I was wondering how and all the question came up, but how are they going to ban hospital straw for people who are paralyzed or having a stroke, or they're going to have paraplegic and not going to have access to those straw? And in the back of my mind, I do believe that we need to have that environment too. Also about straw, I think videos that a turtle got stuck in the straw in their nose, and that is a really bad situation, and I don't even like that either. But in the back of my mind, hopefully there'll be some, if there is there any loophole where there's things going on that, okay, what about for people who are unable or without limbs to have to drink the straw or whatever? And at the back of my mind, it kind of scares me. It did scare me a lot because a lot of people will not focus on people with disability, and that's kind of alarming, kind of threatening. And I assume too much about that. What if they're going to cut back completely? I do believe that back then when I was pretty much in the hospital most of the time, I do believe they had paper straw a while ago, and which is a good thing. I remember that, but I never think about it. Maybe they'll come back and recycle it, and there's some reusable straw with bamboo. They have, I wouldn't mind paying extra money for that, but really, me posting to post that news didn't write that was incorrect, and tell me why, Governor Don, what you had to see. Well,
first I'm going to say that it's not a strange thing for us to get information that is not accurate. That's what we're used to nowadays. So what we have to do is we have to check our sources. It is true that California cities and California the state will be banning these straws. We should be banning all single-use plastic. We have cups and different items when we're buying food, When we buy products, we have throwaways like packaging. We have even things that we don't think of as plastic, like when we buy a paper cup, we'll have plastic lined inside. Our paper plates will be actually coated with plastic inside.
Yeah, plastic lid.
Right, exactly. So there's so much plastic we produce in our world, and it gets used once and discarded. And we imagine that it all gets recycled and it all comes together and goes into the right place, but that's not the truth. It is piling up on this planet, and it's spreading uncontrollably. Our oceans are filled with them. Now, 50% or more of our drinking water that comes out of the tap has plastic in it. How did it get there? This is how it got there, is we throw away so much plastic.
So you're talking about those particles that was recently noticeable?
Yeah, nanoparticles, they call microbeads and microfibers of plastic.
But I thought they go right through our. Do we have do the company itself have a filtering system that
these particles are too small for filtering? So these particles are like filter-sized particles, and so even in all of our bodies are little tiny strings of plastic and bits of plastic. It's in the food that we buy. It's in the water that we drink, not just in bottled water. Yeah, it's everywhere. So we need to do something about it. And first thing we need to think about is, of course, to deal with the problem that's out there. How do we clean up this mess? But right after that, the very second thought is, let's reduce the problem by contributing less to it. The less plastic we use, the less single-use plastic we use, the better everything's going to be, period.
So do you think that, okay, I understand the banning issue, straw, plastic.
Yeah, millions are made every day.
Okay, plastic made every day. So are they going to come out with other solutions for people who are required to have straw in our daily life?
Right. Well, we're used to straws, and straws are super useful. Straws we use for everything. We used to think of tumbler cups as something that nobody would use, but now everyone's using these cups with these hard plastic straws built in.
Are you talking about the baby tumbler?
You know, those cups that we buy at the dollar store or at the different places.
Are you going to have adult size of it?
Yeah, but you know those cups now, people buy a cup, it already has a straw in it.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Those, right?
Straw, okay.
So now we're used to that. That makes sense. Well, so here's the two things that we need to think about anything that we produce. How do we recover it? How do we recycle it? So we know that straws are useful, so we can make them out of things that are better for the environment. For instance, you talked about the paper straws that hospitals have. Those are great items. Now, you can't use them over and over again, but you use them once or twice, they get soggy, you replace them. But now the paper just turns to, it biodegrades. Right.
Okay.
We could also make plastic that biodegrades from sunlight or exposure to certain elements. We can make plastic that breaks down into the environment. There's actually now plastic packaging and plastic products that when they get into the ocean, the plastic doesn't pollute the ocean. It actually turns into food. And little ocean creatures can eat the plastic.
Oh, really?
Because the plastic is made out of things like rice and other grain products.
That makes sense. Okay,
right.
Okay.
You make plastic out of plants instead of petroleum. Right?
Yeah.
So if we make plastic out of plants, then we're also creating a different type of plastic. They're durable as well, but they will break down into biodegradable components. So we can be responsible, still use plastics, but they won't be the same type of plastics, and we won't use them the same way.
Okay, so you think some of the company that will eventually create more job, more environmentally friendly, as far as like you say, all the list of things that is kind of like what nobody would expect of. Paper, recyclable paper, or food that turn into plastic, make turn to food or whatever, or bamboo with it and have your own and things like that. But and it's in school, and it's going to be in the hospital,
right, everywhere,
in the restaurant, things like that, right?
I definitely think that there's be a economic economic growth because of it. And here's why.
Okay.
When you just let companies do whatever they do, their focus is making money, maximizing profits while minimizing expense. So whatever they can get the cheapest that they can legally get away with, they'll do it. So if you make the law set up to where like single-use plastic bags in the grocery store are banned, well, we still have plastic bags, and we have all those grocery totes. So as new industries were created, new products were created, and we banned the products that were the most harmful. So it does create new industry. Now there'll be paper straw companies and biodegradable straw companies, and they might cost.
I'm going too fast. Biodegradable company. Okay, got it.
Yeah.
Right.
And there'll be different products that will be better for our environment, therefore better for our lives.
Okay,
right.
And our health too, because
Certainly.
we don't know where our health coming from. We eat, and that's true. And I don't know if you noticed that plastic. You think plastic are like food preserver? Because a lot of people are saying that. I don't know if you saw it on Facebook where they had a Romanian lettuce, and when you put them in water and you try to wash it in hot water, they peel it out plastic out of our leaf. So. Is that the assumption that we have been eating all this time biodegradable of that?
Sure. We've been polluting our bodies with all sorts of byproducts and chemical byproducts from plastics. That's why we hear now that the new water bottles, the new plastic cups say BPA free. BPA free.
Free, okay.
No BPA. BPA is, I'll tell it what it is. I won't help you spell it, but it's called bisphenol. Bisphenol A.
I can't spell
Yeah.
it. Go ahead.
So this product, this chemical, is a byproduct of this plastic. And when you open a can of vegetables, there's white plastic in the can. That's also BPA plastic. So it's, that same poison that we're getting rid of in our water bottles is still in our canned foods. So we discover all the time that stuff we did before was unhealthy. If we take that discovery and make use of it instead of fight about it in the courts and have companies complain about, let's just make progress. This stuff is unhealthy. Let's make an alternative. Move on. We can do that, and we should do that. And so this is just another phase. These plastic straws are harmful. They are bad for our environment. And the only benefit to them is they're cheap to make. So let's figure out a better way. Still benefit from the technology of using a straw, but do it in a more responsible way. And that's it. Simple as that.
Well taken. So that's good. That's to make my point. Governor Gunn make it more clear about that. Yeah, we need to be responsible of what we watch on Facebook, on Twitter, because I wasn't aware that those things are really fake news. Now source of those information are so vital that it easily could be caught. And when you overreact, like the governor said, and when you overreact too quickly, I mean, you know it's fake news. Because why? You just said, what was the good example you told me?
So, like, I would say, if the purpose of the story is to get you upset, but they don't have any action items, nothing actionable, nothing we could do about it, they don't have a way for you to learn more, then the purpose of it is to get you worked up and maybe to motivate how you vote. But it's not to enlighten you or to make you smarter. So when the story has information that you can verify, it cites their sources, then that's information that you could at least research better. And you can determine for yourself whether it's fake news or not. And the truth is, though, there's not a lot of different truths. There's just a lot of different perspectives. But the fact is, if something is harmful to us, and if there's people who train their whole life, study their whole life to understand the science of it, and they're presenting us with good information, and it's not paid for by industry or by corporations, it's paid for by what they call third party, right? Non-political. Then this is stuff we need to trust. And we need to make good decisions based on it.
Okay. So you heard that from our station manager, Will he's very knowledgeable about the news, and I'm just like an apprentice, just learning about a lot of things that happen and taking my journalism news serious about it.
Yeah.
When he caught it, and I look, and he explained to me what resources that was out there, and this was not really a good resource news.
Not so reliable.
It's not reliable. So correct. So I can't be wrong too. Okay.
Everyone can.
I'm human. I make mistakes too. But
Me too.
I can accept my correction and remove that my comment out, and that's what I did.
Good.
To be big about that, because I don't want to mislead anyone that was not going to create to move to another city or state, to move to another. That California, like you said, it has been a very progressive state for our environment.
Certainly.
So I apologize that it was not crazy.
Well, I mean, hey, some stuff is crazy, and you know what? Here's the thing that we got to look at. Whenever you have a group like California is the most diverse state in the nation. 1 out of 6 Americans live in California. California is right now, I think, the 7th or 8th largest economy on the planet Earth. Just our state. Clean Air Act, Clean Water Act, the EPA, environmentalism, that all came from California. But also, you know what else came from California? Computers. Hello, Silicon Valley. That's in California. We are innovators. We, as a state, have the best human capital in the nation. The most creative people with open minds who explore possibilities. At the same time, we also have many of people who want to be responsible stewards, responsible citizens. And so together, we have, of course, a lot of fluctuation, and we don't have all agreement. But what we do have is a nation state that is taking the lead on environmentalism, on climate, on industry, on social programs, on healthcare, and that's what we're going to continue to do. So I would suggest do your research. Don't be so quick to make a judgment, but also if you're gonna, you got to stand for something. So this is a great place to stand for something. California, we appreciate activism, we appreciate advocacy, and we appreciate good information. And that's just, we want to be a part of the same thing the Voice of Stockton does. And Doug, I say appreciate all your efforts. And it's okay to start a discussion, and it's okay to not have all the information correct, as long as when you do learn more, you're willing to make adjustments. And as long as we are always willing to consider new facts, consider new information, to consider more research, to consider more opinions, to consider each other, then we will always do better.
That's right. And like I say, you know, we can't, like, most people will disagree and agree, but still respect your opinion and don't get mad about that. Mm-hmm. And that's what I do believe, that as a reporter, a news media reporter, I have to have that responsibility and accept that big responsibility that no, this thing is not proper resources. So,
and you know, we see big media retracting stories all the time. You know, they'll have a front page story that they'll have to say, whoops, we got it wrong. It's okay to do that, as long as you're responsible about it. And we admit, if we ever give out bad information, you know, forgive us, please. And we are ready to make an adjustment and make a change. Because really, no one knows everything. None of us are perfect. I mean, our principles here at the Voice of Stockton is mutual respect and love for our community.
That's right. I totally agree with that. That's why this station, and I've been totally this. I take my position very serious about that, and when I'm concerned about ADA topic, that's something that really hit a nerve.
Yeah, and we need advocates like you. I would rather someone who is passionate, but sometimes get things wrong, than somebody who is too careful, doesn't stick their neck out there and take a risk,
Okay.
and tries to get everything perfect all the time. No. We need passion. We need involvement. And getting things wrong, that just happens. And we're going to keep working on it, make adjustments, and find a better path forward. And it's okay.
Okay.
It's a beautiful thing. And I thank you for that, Doug.
Thank you so much, Governor John. I really appreciate your encouragement and your a way of, like you say, we're only human, and that's something that we have to strive at the radio station to be that way, to be more informative and not too quick to jump, but yet also just kind of, like you said, know your resources before you panic, before you learn it.
Sure. Well, thank you for having me on to talk about that.
Okay, it's gonna be a short topic. To thank you for watching. I didn't have no guest. It's been I was supposed to have one today, but they called and they had to move, not move, but drive somebody out somewhere. But last minute cancellation. So thank you. I just want to touch on this topic of this politics that is, fake news still exists now. Even now, we're going through an election now. We need to be very, very careful about that too. Okay, so thank you so much for watching on a Saturday, the Vigil show and the Voice of Stockton for helping to make that happen. Thank you so much for everyone for watching. Bye bye.